What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back at the original filming spot location, and guess what? I have one of those original luxury full-size SUVs. This is it. This is a 2023 Cadillac, but this isn't your regular Cadillac. This is the new, first time ever, Escalade-V. But before we get into this performance supercharged V8 luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Cadillac. They've been around since the early 1900s. Everybody has known them to be that top builder of sedans, coupe de villes, convertibles, and everything in between. Well, guess what? Hot on the heels of the introduction of the Lincoln Navigator, they brought to fruition this Cadillac Escalade. That was a game changer, not only for the brand, but also for the auto industry. Now there was a fresh group of people that were coming into the brand that had never been there before, and really taking the SUV to a new level where people were dreaming about Cadillac Escalades. People had posters of Cadillac Escalades in their bedroom as they were growing up. But what I want to find out is, now that Cadillac has decided to step in to the V series family with the Escalade-V, is this the best new luxury performance SUV to buy, especially if you compare it to something, say, like an Audi RS-Q8. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Escalade-V, new for 2023, and see, is it the best new luxury performance SUV you should buy? Let's find out. Right off the bat, the style. You're not gonna confuse this SUV with anything else, and this is definitely a larger SUV than, say, the RS-Q8. Starting at the front of the business, you are gonna get sporty style headlight housings with full LEDs, both low beam and high beam. Working our way down, massive corner lights with your daytime running lamps and your turn signals, all LED. My big zonk is gonna be this guy right here. This large area, it's not functional. It would be nice if that was some type of functional corner air curtain to help channel the air through the front end of this beast, because this thing is massive. And if you're looking at the RS-Q8, that is an area where they did it a lot better with a lot more functionality to all the venting. Now, working your way down, you do have a splitter, because even at the end of the day, this thing has plenty of get up and go, and we want to try to stop the air from going underneath this large cruise missile and giving us some downforce at the front of the business. Now, as we come across the front grille, this is where you get that V-Series grille. V-Series all started back in the early 2000s with the CTS-V. We got the CT4-V, CT5-V Blackwings, and then of course we got the Escalade-V. You got that massive badge, very contemporary the way they have evolved it over time. Forward-facing camera, and then that gloss black traditional cross lace setup. We do have gloss black around the perimeter, and then of course that badge is so large that Flava Flav could definitely get rid of the clock and hang that thing around his neck. Now, working your way down, I love the way everything kind of has a V shape to the front of the vehicle. You have the lower portion that extends out, the splitter that runs along the bottom, and then you'll notice on the inner corners here, you actually have that functionality for helping to flow air to the brakes, all the different heat exchangers, and I like the way that the lower portion matches perfectly the top portion. But you can see just how wide this beast is, especially because of that extra horsepower underneath the hood. Now, as we rise on up to the hood, it's the same exact hood on any other Escalade vehicle. And this is what Cadillac was pointing out, is that this isn't a Blackwing. So it's not like they were gonna give you a big bulge or heat extractors. I personally would have liked that, but this was supposed to be something where you get the performance, but you're still getting that foundation of what many people love about an Escalade, only you're getting extra scoopings, extra heapings of that performance. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire steps. So we're gonna kind of spin around, and what we got going on here are these wheels that are specific to the Escalade-V. What's nice is you actually have the V-Series badge on the wheel itself. I like the gunmetal metallic gray finish, multi-spoke design all the way around, 22-inch wheel, all four corners, and then you'll notice the edge red. Yes, that's the name of the color, edge red, 6-piston Brembo calipers, massive rotors, And then of course we have adaptive dampers, all four corners, to help you handle, because you'll be surprised, even though we got a lot of weight up top, wait until we go through the twisty bits with this beast. If you're wondering, well, what's the size of the tire? 275 on the width, and then you have a nice 50 series sidewall all the way around, but definitely digging the color, like the touches up against the side of this vehicle. Now, as we continue down the side, you do have your Escalade-V badge, nice and large, good placement. Color matched on the mirror caps, 360-degree cameras, and then one of my favorite touches is, watch this. You open up the door, you got those automatic dropping running boards with LED lights that run along the whole length of them. So that's really cool. Nice little touches, make it extra special. Color matched on the door handles, LED lighting on the door handles. You still get your roof rails close to the roof line. That massive rear quarter glass, look at the size of this thing. Massive rear quarter glass. You get 3-row usability, a lot more usability on the inside than an RSQ8. And then when you're looking at the rear, even on the rear, you're getting a nice setup to match what's going on at the front. And it's 275s, all four corners, and of course we have all-wheel drive to get the power to the ground. And this can send most of the power to the rear wheels. So that's the fun thing, because remember, this is a rear-wheel drive base setup. Most of the power could go to the rear wheels. But let's go ahead and go to the rear. Dropping all the way down that nice large quarter window. I love the way they do the lighting on the rear. Supersize, for supersized performance, full LED with your turn signals. We got our Escalade badge. We got that Cadillac badge, which is what's cool about it. It also acts as the button to open up the hatch. I'll show you that in a little bit. Of course, we got the V Series badge on the back portion as well. And then my other favorite part that just makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck is the GM Performance exhaust, specifically developed for the Escalade-V. Love the way they did the tips, nice gloss black finish that matches the rest of the gloss black. You got this simulated rear diffuser. Take that cover off, you could do full towing. You got an electric limited slip diff out back, and you're able to make the exhaust louder or quieter depending on who exactly you want to piss off. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see the heart of this Escalade. All right, guys, we got that massive hood open. Of course, you got hood struts to hold that thing open. Now, when you're comparing this to the RSQ8, what's interesting is that both of them have V8s. They both have a power adder as well. The Audi RSQ8 has twin turbos, but guess what we have? A big ol' supercharger. So looking underneath the hood, I love the way the engine has no plastic cover over it whatsoever. You're gonna get that supercharger top with the Cadillac badging specific to this engine. And if you notice closely, there's a silver plaque. It's built by an engine builder at the GM Performance Center by hand in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But what do we got? We got 6.2 liters of supercharged V8 goodness. That's the LT4. Pumped out now to 682 horsepower, 653 pound-feet of torque. That's more horsepower than my Camaro ZL11LE. 0 to 60, 4.2 seconds. Quarter mile goes by in 12.6 seconds at 112 miles per hour. Top speed, though, is governed to 125 miles per hour. Now, if you're wondering about MPGs, I hope you're not looking for a high number, because you're not going to get that with this vehicle. MPGs in the city, 11 and 16 on the highway. If that bothers you, I got a RAV4 Prime that I could show you that'll definitely make you happy. The vehicle weighs 6,000 pounds, and guess what? If you're wondering, those brake rotors are actually 16.1 inches in diameter. That's larger than most Domino's and Pizza Hut pizzas. Just something to think about. But why don't we go ahead? I don't know about you. Are you ready for an eargasm? I'm ready for an eargasm. Let's fire up this Escalade-V and hear its roar. All right, guys, time to get inside this 2023 first time ever Escalade-V. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this thing? Because I've looked at AMG, GLC, blah, 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 BMW X7 M50Is, Alpina X7Bs, and everything else. What's the price on this Cadillac Escalade-V? This one being the short wheelbase, you're looking at the way it's optioned, an MSRP of $151,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now, door panels are looking clean. I like the contrast stitching up top. I'm not liking that gloss dark wood finish, so I'm gonna zonk that. They should have used aluminum, some black aluminum. But if you notice, right above the door handle, you do have heated and ventilated seats, which are great. Then you have some of that carbon flash metallic around the switchgear. Soft armrests. I'm loving the stitching and the piping on the door panel. And then when it comes to the actual door pocket, it's a pretty good size, as you would expect. You could get a 12-inch Subway sub in there, do a meatball. You could actually get extra parm and an extra meatball thrown in. And then we got the AKG premium sound system. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same finishes. Love the way they did the upper dash portion. Nice and stylish. It's the wood grain gloss veneer I'm not digging. But as we come across, you're getting over 30 inches of infotainment display, nicely positioned for the driver. And I like the way that they did this bezel within a bezel. So it wasn't just like all one piece of screen. Obviously navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, full touchscreen capability. You go into vehicle information, you can get your oil pressure, coolant temp, all the important readouts. And what's cool is that you could actually have it and then have it show up in the cluster over here on the driver's side. So kind of cool to be able to bring those things from this location over to the actual digital dash. And then I go right back to home. Look at all the pages you got of stuff that you could do. Go into cameras. Super clear resolution. You could go wide. You could go overhead. Of course, you got trajectory. You could do the sides. Look at those 22-inch wheels. Trailering, back, front. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. It's like freaking having your own satellite dish with a camera attached to it for your setup here. Your rear media, Amazon Alexa, the whole nine yards. I mean, this thing is such a dynamo when it comes to all the different readouts. And then we're right back to navigation. Working your way down, you got the TFT display with your dual climate controls, nice silver switch gear. This is going to control that 10-speed automatic, fast shifting automatic transmission. You do have a direct drive control knob similar to BMW's direct drive control, the iDrive control knob. Obviously, some buttons and switch gear. More of that wood, not digging the wood. But we open that up, USB-C, USB-A. You got a place for, I would say, 6 atomic fireballs because this thing is atomic hotness. How do I know? Because look at the freaking key fob. It actually matches the color of the calipers. That's where they get the color from. And then I love the way it's got the V badge on it. Flip it around. Have fun with remote start. My advice is go to a quiet parking lot with a bunch of people, do the remote start, and watch everybody jump right out of their shoes. 2 cup holders. Close that up. Wireless charging. You just drop your phone right in there. Look at the style, the leather, the stitching. It says Escalade. How do I know? Because I know how to read. Hooked on Phonics work for me. Escalade. Open it up. What do we got? We got a freaking cooler in here. So you could actually chill your Twinkies. Nobody likes a warm Twinkie. Everybody likes a nice chilled Twinkie. USB-C, USB-A, and then the seats. Freaking speakers in the headrest with the nice aluminum speaker grill cover. The stitching, the piping, full electric assist for the passenger. Of course, I'm going to have full electric assist for the driver as well. We do have that massive panoramic sunroof. Some people ask me, why do I not open it up all the way? It just takes too long. We got to move on with the show. You got speakers everywhere in the headliner. Alcantara, as soft as your girlfriend's pussy cat. Nice and soft. Look at this. Digital rearview mirror. Love the clear resolution. GM actually came up with that first, believe it or not. And then put it right back on me. Why don't you come over to the business end? I got a freaking leather wrapped steering wheel I want to show you in this Escalade-V. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. There's those electric dropping running boards. We have our Escalade badge that lights up, LED at night, nice and clean. Pedal box, pretty nice. You got an aluminum brake pedal and throttle. I just wish they gave you a better dead pedal. The carpet, it's a little too small, is just turning me off. Seat controls, lots of adjustability, 24 different ways from Sunday, and you got massage seat settings. I am 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, I promise you that. Here's the leather wrap steering wheel I told you about. I wish that they did that white contrast stitching all the way around. Get rid of the wood. I do like the V series badging right there at the base, and I do like the stitching on the horn button. Very classy. You do get metal paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down the 10-speed automatic, and you do adjust the steering column. It is electric. Look at the way they hide an extra V series badge here. You could raise and lower with the air ride suspension real easily with the buttons, and then even you have a screen over here to adjust the height of your HUD controls. That's your head-up display, the brightness. Look at the way I can switch through all that stuff. Night vision, this has it all, plus some. And then check out that dash. Visual perfection. Nice large tack in the center with your speedometer. There's that transmission fluid temp that I brought over, and you could tune into what you're listening to on Sirius XM. But look at that. Love the way that works. You put it in V mode, boom, there's the V. Now we got some rocking and rolling coming out back. But speaking of the back, let's go ahead, get into that back seat, mid-row and third row, because I'm dying to go on throttle in this thing. Let's go do it. All right, guys, time to get into the mid-row and the third row. And you know what? This vehicle, obviously, you're gonna wanna entertain your passengers with that supercharged V8 goodness. But if they don't think that that's good enough, and they're like, I want my technology. Well, guess what? You got 2 monitors on the back of the headrest for them to entertain themselves. Of course, no better entertainment than watching Rady's rides on here, but you could do Hulu, or Hulu. Who knows what the heck that is? That's something that's coming out soon. Hulu, you could do Amazon Prime, you could do your Netflix, and of course, you could do Rady's rides on YouTube. What I like is how nice and firm the tilt is on this thing. So it's not like after a year using it, it's just gonna droop down. It's nice and rigid, really solid. You got the wireless headsets with the Cadillac badge on them. Look at that. That's the extra touches I was telling you about. Just pop those bad boys on like that. And now you got your pockets. You could put some Twizzlers, maybe like a 1-pound bag of Twizzlers while you're watching Rady's rides. In the back seat area, we got heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's a zonk in the mid-row, but you do have your AC controls, easy to figure out. We got those fancy cup holders, and then you got USB-Cs and HDMI ports in the lower section, plus a home power source. So they got you covered there as well. Fold that up. Seats, what's amazing about them is, guess what? You could do all sorts of things with them. You can slide them, and you could also recline them. But let's do the test. They're captain's chairs. Let's see if you're really gonna be the captain. That's a good armrest. So we're not gonna have to zonk the armrest. Good news. And what I like is same material. First row, mid row, and third row get the same great leather seating. What we're gonna do is we're gonna change this up. There's a little button here. I'm gonna hit this. Moves the seat down out of the way. You actually then could do that. Steven's gonna show off the third row. I'm not getting back there for this one, but you got your third row, same great leather, USB-Cs on both sides, cup holders. The problem is it's hard plastic. I wish that they would give you some nice leather back here. Some of the other brands do that. I won't say who, but they know who they are. Lock the seat back down. They say you could haul the mail in this thing. Let's see how many envelopes and packages we could get in the cargo area of the Escalade-V. Right, guys, time to get in that cargo area like I showed you before. Hit the Cadillac badge. Nice electric assist opens up, and this is where the Escalade is gonna blow the doors and the lift back off the RSQ8, the cargo space. Over 23 cubic feet of space with the third row up. You do have the cherry on top of that AKG premium sound system with that large subwoofer. On the passenger side, you do have a home power source, and you got your switchgear to fold down the seats, whether it be the third row or the mid row. One of my zonks though is that you have to hold the button down, and that really just, I don't know, it would be nice to have just one touch. But the great news is, look how flat everything folds really cleanly. I'm gonna have Steven show off where those USB-Cs were right on the sides of the third row. Nice to have that capability, and the rear AC vents. And then what's even better is you have actually some storage underneath. You could put 76 Twinkies back here, no problem. And those are perfect for when you take the whole family to the racetrack. And you got some nice aluminum trim with the Escalade name, which is just that little extra something that you know they thought everything out. But you know what? I don't know about you. I know a twisty road. Do you know a twisty road? Why don't we go ahead and take this Escalade-V and go on throttle with some twisty bits. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Cadillac Escalade-V. And you know what? I have found my favorite twisty bits of road, and we're gonna go on throttle with the launch control. On throttle, here we go. Love the sound of that freaking V8. Look at this. Wow. Yeah. Little bit of supercharger whine. I would like a little bit more. Golly, that 10-speed fires off the freaking shifts like a freaking machine gun. Yeah. Those massive brakes shedding the speed. This Escalade-V is just so unassuming. It looks like Escalade to the normal untrained eye, but then you watch Rady's rides, you let me show you all the details, and then once you fired it up, that freaking exhaust sounds so harmonious. They did a great job. Of course, everything else in here is perfect GM goodness with Cadillac. I love the large digital dash. Infotainment is well within reach. I got some good gauges like oil pressure, coolant temp, transmission fluid temp. You got all those readouts that are very important. You got metal paddles behind the wheel, not plastic like you find in some other brands. And then of course you got that V8 power. That is just unbelievable. And that all-wheel drive to get the power to the ground. I tell you, the technology and freaking engineering that's gone into launching this 6,000-pound beast. I like the fact that we don't have the ESV with that extra weight and that extra length, but we got the launch control. So easy to do. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle. Release, here we go, on throttle. Purposeful shifts. Look at that, those massive 6-piston Brembos up front. God, this thing. It's like you're getting kicked in the back by a freaking horse, man. That's with every shift. Nice turn in. That magnetic ride suspension doing the business. This Cadillac Escalade should not handle like this, but yet it does. It shouldn't sound like this, but yet it does. It's the last hurrah for the freaking good old internal combustion engine. The LT4 is a sweetheart of an engine. And now that we got 682 ponies underneath the hood, it's just mind-boggling. You know, the way they did the magnetic ride suspension. Remember, General Motors, the first in the industry with that. I even love the way when you're cruising, let off throttle, you're getting pops and bangs and everything out of the exhaust. Absolutely perfection. All right, guys, we got to do this again. Can't get bored of this. On throttle. Yeah. do this, but it does. And then the best part is it's got all of the Cadillac greatness that makes the Escalade the Escalade. The wonderful leather interior, the fine appointments, the technology, head-up display, the whole freaking 9 yards. And you got 3-row usability. You compare that to an RSQ8, you're not getting that everyday usability. Not at all. And the way it just pours the torque, it's like watching Double Dare, and when the freaking contestants used to get slimed, that's how it is, man. It's just like a big old bucket of torque being poured all over you in this freaking Escalade. It's intense. It really is. And even though we have a high center of gravity, for the most part, it handles very well. The RSQ8 is obviously going to out-handle this, but getting the power to the ground from a dead stop, not even one hit of slip, all grip. And I've been using the launch control repeatedly. No nannies come on. You don't go into limp mode or anything like that. It's that freaking good. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. Are you ready? We're gonna launch this beast. On throttle, here we go. It gets up to speed very, very quickly. And then you get on those brakes and just hammer it out of a corner. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything more menacing than a freaking Escalade coming up in your rear view mirror just on fire like this thing is. I would like a little bit more weight to the steering and a little bit more precision, but remember, this is not some black wing equivalent on an Escalade. It is an Escalade-V, but they wanted to keep just enough of the everyday usability to where that is what they're trying to do with the compromise. But overall, freaking phenomenal what the designers and the engineers have done with this Escalade-V. We're gonna get back to where it all started. I hope that was enough on throttle for you. I think it was, but we're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of an on-throttle V8 supercharged goodness kind of day. Definitely gotta thank everybody at Cadillac for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is this overkill? Is this too big? Would you rather have this over an RSQ8? Let me know in that comment section if it really checks off the boxes for the best new luxury performance SUV available. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood, Stephen Flood Photography. Show him some love in that comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.